Happy Tuesday, boys and girls. I am down in my basement, which doesn't have a lot in it, but you can see behind me some of my exercise equipment because in my class, Mrs. Connolly's class, we have PE on Tuesdays. And so since it's Tuesday, I wanted to emphasize the importance of staying active and trying to remember all those things Miss Mitchell has taught you, games and exercises and things that you can do outside. You definitely don't need any exercise equipment to stay active, especially as the weather is getting nicer. I wanted to emphasize a couple of the things that you may have seen in Miss Ball's video, or maybe you haven't watched that yet and you're going to. So for our reading focus this week, we are working on comparing and contrasting texts on the same topic. And so that is why today's read aloud is If You Take a Mouse to School. Last week, I have to be honest, I don't really remember what day it was, but one of the most recent read alouds was If You Give a Moose a Muffin. And these are written by the same author and have a lot of similar themes and phrasings. And so I wanted to read another book on the same topic so that you could compare and contrast that or have a conversation at home about similarities and differences. You might even go back and rewatch the Moose one if you don't remember. That's definitely why I brought it home, so that I could compare and contrast them. As well, our science focus is some ways of how plants and animals meet their needs. So in Miss Ball's video, you'll notice that she gives directions on how to access BrainPop and the science component of BrainPop. I have linked BrainPop to Clever. You don't need to enter any credit card information. It's free, but you do have to create a family account. So be sure to check that out with Miss Ball. And then her math focus is how many, and it's a set of cards that you lay out and you talk about how many. I have some picture math problems coming soon, hopefully, that involve covering or recovering doubles. So we talked a lot in the middle of the year about double 7, double 4, double 5. And so it has to do with an underwater picture. So be on the lookout for that. So here we go. If You Take a Mouse to School by Laura Numeroff, illustrated by Felicia Bond. If you take a mouse to school. Inside cover. If you take a mouse to school, he'll ask you for your lunchbox. When you give him your lunchbox, he'll want a sandwich. And a snack for later. Then he'll need a notebook and some pencils. He'll probably want to share your backpack too. When you get to school, he'll put his things in your locker and take a look around. He might do a little math and spell a word or two. He'll even try a science experiment. Then he'll need to wash up. You'll have to take him to the bathroom. Once he's nice and clean, he'll be ready for his lunch. On the way to the lunchroom, he'll see some building blocks. He'll build a little mouse house. And make some furniture out of clay. Then he'll need some books for his bookshelf. He'll start by writing one of his own, so he'll need a lot of paper. He'll probably use up all your pencils. When he's finished, he'll want to read his book to you. Then he'll want to take it home, so he'll put it in your lunchbox and tuck it in a safe place. When the bell rings, he'll run out to wait for the bus. While he's waiting, he'll play a quick game of soccer, then he'll ask you to shoot a few baskets. And do a little skateboarding. When he stops to catch his breath, he'll want to eat his snack, so he'll ask you for your lunchbox. And chances are if he asks for your lunchbox, you'll have to take him back to school. So I wanted to re-emphasize comparing and contrasting two texts on the same topic. Of course, these are fiction texts, but you can definitely, and I encourage you to, do a compare-contrast with a Venn diagram on nonfiction texts. I have set up Raz Kids, which has a tutorial video from Miss Ball, I believe. I'll have to double check on that. But anyways, please check out Raz Kids. It has a placement test and you can level up. And there's two different alleys you can go down. You can go to Headsprout or Reading. And Reading is where it's going to give you text right at your level and it will assess where you're at. Whereas Epic, I would like you to use more for pleasure reading. I have opened up videos, so that's more for total enjoyment of reading, exploring. Some of you are doing some research on some different animals, so be aware that there's reading I want you to be doing to increase your reading ability and your reading skills, and then there's fun reading, which is what Epic is for. Because we did Epic in our classroom, which was totally for pleasure reading, and our small groups was really where I would work with you to go on to that next level of your independent reading skills. And since we can't do that, we're going to use Raz Kids. And so I hope you have a great Tuesday. I will see you tomorrow for our read aloud and talk a bit more about our week's focus that Miss Ball and I are working on together. Miss Kisa and Miss Koza are also joining in as well. So stay tuned for that if they want to hop in with some fun videos. And I will see you on Wednesday's meeting. Keep growing and learning.